What's happening YouTube? Welcome back to another street photography video. In today's video, you ever find that you have days where you go out to shoot street photography and it's like you can do no wrong? You take loads of photos that you love and you get back and you can't believe that you got that many images that you actually think work together, or like ones that you would like to put in your portfolio or anything like that. That happened to me on Saturday. I went into the city for like 3 hours with my wife. We went to some home show thing, and as we were walking around on the train on the way there, coming back, I was just shooting random photos, not really thinking too much about it. And I walked away with all of these images, and they were all shot in the space of about 3 hours. And then there's days where you go out and you feel like the whole thing's a struggle, you feel like all your images are terrible, and it's not till you get back that you get maybe one that you like, and then a couple that work only as like a photo set supporting the other picture. And that is what today's street photography behind the scenes is about. Initially, what I thought was going to be a great idea was to walk through as much of Philadelphia's underground tunnel system as I could. It took about 30, maybe 40 minutes to walk through. I got lost a couple times, and I thought there was going to be lots of like photographic opportunities, but there wasn't. The light's not that interesting down there, and there was a couple pictures I made along the way, but nothing that I actually like. And by the time I came out onto the street level, I was feeling pretty frustrated. It also didn't help when I came up to street level that the winter sun was low enough in the sky that it was behind all the skyscrapers in Center City, so it wasn't casting any sort of interesting light anywhere. So what I had to do was walk south and west towards the sun to try and find pockets of light that weren't being blocked by skyscrapers. And while I was on the way, I also stopped to try and shoot photos of bikes going past. Sometimes they work out interesting, sometimes they're terrible. In this case, it was pretty terrible. Once I started to find those pockets of light, I just decided to photograph them as they were. There wasn't a lot of people in these streets, so if nothing else, it was just a street scene with some interesting light on it. And this was the first one that I actually made. I don't like it. I think I framed it terribly. There's far too much negative space. I should have stayed on the other side of the road, maybe photographed it at an angle. At the other end of this street, there was an intersection that had lots of light coming in from the side. I just photographed these buildings as they were being hit by the sun. I thought they looked kind of nice, almost like the shadows were like framing the building. But I don't love it. It's just kind of shooting this mundane scene as it is, and maybe I come up with a nice composition. And if nothing else, it's just kind of a practice of composing an image. At the same corner, there was a bike passing by, and I tried another of the sort of movement shots, panning shots. And this here was one of my favourite scenes actually. The light's just touching the top of those apartment buildings there, but there's this like crooked tree. And framed with the building, the colours came out nice. I like the sort of orange with the blue sky. I like the shape of the tree in this. I can't really explain exactly why I like it, but I just kind of think it looks cool. Shortly after that, I find this street scene here. I really like the colours of this wall, the way the light is hitting it from the sides. We've got the dark side. It's not hitting the road either, so it's just that wall and that sign that's being lit up. And we get this runner coming through, and I was maybe a little bit late. I do prefer it with his shadow on the wall, so I couldn't photograph them right in the center. They had to be off to the side so they could get that shadow in there as well. A lady with like a roller bag came by, and again, she's a little closer to the wall, so her shadow shows up earlier. And this one I really like. This was my favorite photo of the day, and when I had it, I knew that it was going to be my favorite one. I just love the muted tones there. I actually raised the shadows a bit so I could see more of that wall on the other side. I like the kind of geometric patterns on that side of it. I really like this street scene. Here we've got this car from the side. We've got this purple door, which kind of, they're not really complementary colors, but they go well together. And then off to the other side, almost in like a little frame of its own, is this white car with the light blue house like offset behind it. This was me just shooting a picture of my shadow across on this wall. Not particularly interesting picture. The sun was really strong, it's so low in the sky and it's casting really long shadows, so it's actually pretty cool. I even kind of like this scene for some reason. As I was shooting it I thought there's no way this is going to be good, but the car passing through adds some sort of interest there. You can see the factory in the background and all those brand new apartments and buildings. Well, I guess it's in the mid-ground. Maybe it is a little snapshot of a place and time in Philadelphia. Maybe I'm talking complete crap, so let's just move on. Coming up to South Street Bridge here. Anytime I'm here, I'll just take a picture from this same spot because the light is often so different than at other times of day, and we've got this nice low sort of orange light cast across the city and like spotted clouds in the sky, so it's kind of interesting. I actually quite like this picture. And this one here as well, including a bit of the Schuylkill River Trail, I think looks kind of cool. But yeah, I like this place. And one more here. I made this one black and white because it was so strongly backlit, and I was maybe a little bit far away, but the cyclist coming up onto the bridge there, and yeah, whatever. There was this very orange light being cast, and I don't think it's just the way that the video is. I've not edited it to look more warm. It's just kind of how orange it actually was, and I had my white balance set completely wrong, so everything looks a bit too warm. I had to try and cool it down when I was editing. I didn't love these photos enough to spend that much time trying to get the colours right. This one, there was someone standing on that staircase, so their shadow was on the wall, but then they disappeared, and I took a photo of this scene just to kind of remember that I should look for that if I'm there again. And I spot this like construction board wall type thing and people's shadows being cast along it. So I stand here for a little while, and it's pretty busy path, so it doesn't take too long before somebody comes by. Again, you can see how orange that light was. It was actually kind of cool. I've never really seen it like this. Had to cool it down a lot in post, and it still looks pretty warm. But I shot a few different angles here trying to work the scene. This one's kind of cool, but I wish there was maybe either just one person or 3 people. I'm not sure if 2 people work. And then here, a runner and skateboarder passed me at the exact same time. And this was the best one that I got. I liked that the guy's shoe was still in the corner of the screen, and it matches the colour of the cones, and the skateboarder's shadow is still on the wall, and he's coming into the frame. It's kind of blurry. It's not a good standalone picture, but this one works with some of the others as a photo set. And this is the last picture that I'm going to show you that I took, because the rest were just utter trash. The light was just hitting underneath this walkway really nicely. I like this sort of split frame that's there, just the concrete on one side and then this sort of distant doorway. I feel like it looks mysterious or something, or a little bit sinister almost, but I just like that scene. So for a day that felt like I was just breaking off the rust, I actually came away with 3 pictures that I kind of like, and I wasn't sure if I liked them at first, except from that one picture. And I made this photo set here. And yes, I had to crop the one picture because it was in landscape, the other 2 were in portrait. So I just kind of made that choice to crop it because it looks nice with those. However, I do prefer that one crop picture as just a singular image. So on Instagram, I will post it that way with the other pictures, but for the sake of this video where you see it all in one, or anywhere where I was going to show them all in one, I think I would put them side by side and crop that picture like that and just take that loss of data. So yeah, one of the nice things about making these videos is that I sort of revisit the pictures after I've taken them. So I shoot them, I'm like, okay, I like that one. And then as I'm making the video and I'm looking at the other pictures and maybe paying more attention to them and analysing what I like or don't like about them, I sometimes find that I actually like pictures more than I thought I would, and can put them together in a photo set that just makes them like stronger images when they're like that. So that's like a plus about doing this. If you enjoy these videos, hit that subscribe button. I make new videos every week. Also hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the photos. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.